Hello users, now we will be seeing how to create a debit note and credit note in the same system. So I've again logged in from the user Purti, and on my home page I'll be going on my deal number 397. On the same deal, at the bottom you get an option to raise a debit note. The concept of the debit note is like, in case you have any additional charges which are attached to this deal and which are not part of this deal, you can raise a debit note. For example, say any traveling charges or any deal formation charges. In case it's a dollar billing, then any charges which are levied during the transaction of this deal, in such cases you can raise a debit note. The transaction amount in the debit note will be over and above the deal value. So for example, the current deal was of 50 lakh rupees, and in case I raise a new debit note for say 5 lakh rupees, so my deal value is not affected. This is outside the system, but just to trace what all additional expenses are done during this particular deal, via this we can have a debit note. To raise a new debit note, I'll just click on the button New Debit Note. A new form opens up. Here we have an option whether the debit is to talent, and we write the talent name Ranbir Kapoor. The amount, I write say 10,000 rupees. There is a service tax. On which date? So I can just select my date, say 18th of January. The deal number is automatically populated. Kindly do not change the same. Description, I can write here travel expenses done towards the deal. Once I save this particular deal, again the same will go for an approval to my HOD Sanjeev. Once Sanjeev approves, it will go to the accounts approval to Pooja Pardesi, and once the account has approved the same, you will be able to see a similar debit note. A print option will be activated the same way as it has been activated in the invoice column. So this is how we raise a debit note in the particular system. Now we come to credit note. The concept of credit note is something, as we have already raised an invoice in this particular deal 397, the invoice number 331, the last 3 digits of the deal invoice, which is 331. Now after certain time the user comes to know that this invoice has been raised falsely. The user has the right to cancel that particular invoice. So you need to go to edit. Here you get an option cancel HOD approval. So when you say cancel button, it will go for HOD approval to Sanjeev Masters. And once we log in with Sanjeev's name, once Sanjeev approves this credit note, and then it will go for again accounts approval, and the credit note will be generated. So when a credit note is generated, the particular invoice has been reversed in the system, and the same milestone will be recreated in the system as it was previously done. So I've logged in from Sanjeev's name. Again I go to deal number 397. I have an option for debit note as well as for cancel HOD approval. Both the options are with me right now with Sanjeev Master's entry. First I'll accept the debit note. It is approved. And again I will accept the credit note. So here I say it has been approved. Now we will view the same transaction with the login of Pooja Pardesi, where once the accounts team accepts the same, then both the transactions are activated. that is the debit note and credit note, and we'll be seeing the effect of the same on the complete transactional system. I'll be logging with Pooja. Again, I will be going on the same transaction, deal number 397. So with the finance entry login. Yeah. So first we'll be generating the debit note. So once finance approves it and says generated, similarly on the credit note, so we say it has been cancelled. Now both the processes are been done in this particular transaction. So now we will be logging in again with the name of Purti and we will be seeing the effect of the similar transaction. So this is the entry of Purti. I'll just refresh the page and users. Now you can see over here a credit note, that is a credit voucher, is generated. I can just click over here and I have the complete credit note and it shows me towards a reversal of invoice number 331 with the total amount. So this is the credit note, and similarly we will be able to see the debit note, which is for 10,000 rupees with the same description which was given, travel expenses done towards the deal. Now when the credit note has been generated, the invoice amount has been reversed in the system and you will be able to see the total invoice column, which is as the similar one, and the status of the current invoice is now updated to cancelled one. So users, now you have understood the complete process of a deal generation, that is deal booking, deal approval, invoice generation, debit note generation and credit note generation. Thank you for being with us. Thank you.